Well then, who were you talking to last night in that deep, cool, wannabe voice? Hey, this is how you doing, baby?
Lana, damn girl, you still mad I dusted you on your track for the entire school?
You really think you all that?
Oh, honey, I know I'm all that.
You ain't got no girls. All you have is some smelling feet. Oh, and that was me. Now, here's my daddy.
During quarantine, something deep inside her had shifted. She said she'd experienced a spiritual awakening that completely changed her focus. Instead of chasing more fame or bigger paychecks, she launched her own production company, not to climb higher in Hollywood, but to create faith-based stories that meant something real.
This industry, for what it is, and everything that people look to and praise, it's not important. God is moving me in more than one way than just this show.
She wanted to bring light into the industry, to tell stories with purpose, and to be part of the good, not just stay stuck in one spot waiting for the next big role. This wasn't some kind of meltdown. This was a woman who had spent 17 years trapped inside the Hollywood machine, finally realizing what it had taken from her. But there was another layer to the story that most people missed. Out of all the hosts who could have sat down with her, it was Drew Barrymore who invited Chyna onto her show in 2020. And what happened next was powerful. Drew, a fellow former child star who'd survived some of Hollywood's darkest corners, was clearly moved by Chyna's words. You could see it in her eyes. She understood. When Chyna started talking about launching her own production company, Drew instantly connected. Her response said it all. Drew had done the same thing years earlier, founding Flower Films at just 19, right after surviving her own Hollywood trauma. It was like one generation of survivors silently passing the torch to the next. Drew was watching Chyna walk that same brave path, choosing control instead of being controlled. Her advice about finding a permanent crew and building your own trusted circle hit Chyna right in the heart. That word, trust, kept echoing through the conversation like a warning bell. It made everyone wonder, who had Chyna stopped trusting? What really went down in those spaces where trust was supposed to be a sure thing? After Black Lightning wrapped up in 2021, Chyna quietly stepped away from the bright lights of mainstream Hollywood. The silence was noticeable and fans started asking questions. Then, out of nowhere, she made a brief return in 2023, popping up in an episode of 911, Lone Star. It was a reminder. Chyna hadn't disappeared. She was just moving differently now. She took on the role of Lisa Williams, but it was obvious her focus had shifted completely. Acting wasn't her whole world anymore. Chyna was now putting her energy into her faith, her music with her sisters, and creating new projects through her production company that truly matched her values and beliefs. She started speaking out boldly about mental health, the heavy pressure that comes with growing up in the spotlight, and how important it is for young stars to hold on to their true identity and stay authentic no matter what.
And I came to dance, 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 dance. And I hit the floor cause that's my plans, 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 plans. I'm wearing all my favorite brands, 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 brands. Give me the space for both my hands, hands, hands. That girl stinks.
Her voice carried real weight. It was raw, honest, and needed. But then, in March 2025, controversy came out of nowhere. Chyna posted a video from an old trip to Maui that instantly stirred reactions online. It showed her gently touching a resting sea creature. What seemed innocent at first quickly exploded into a viral debate that nobody saw coming. In the video, Chyna smiled at the camera, captioning it, "Sea turtles on the beach. Just found this turtle gem. Found so many other pics from this beautiful healing place that I might share. Don't be shocked if I pack up and move to Maui one of these days." It looked peaceful and harmless until the internet reacted. Within hours, the backlash hit hard. Critics flooded her comments, calling her out for touching protected wildlife. The outrage grew so loud that even Hawaii's governor, Josh Green, stepped in personally. He publicly criticized Chyna, saying she needed to, quote, "educate yourself on Hawaii's laws." The moment turned into a full-blown media storm, and what started as a calm, sunny post from paradise suddenly had her name trending for all the wrong reasons. Governor Green doubled down with a firm but respectful message that spread fast across social media. He wrote, "Aloha, Chyna. I urge you to educate yourself on Hawaii's laws and the importance of protecting our marine life." His words carried weight, especially coming from the state's top official. He reminded everyone that sea turtles in Hawaii are protected species under strict laws, with NOAA, the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service, and Hawaii's Department of Land and Natural Resources, DLNR, all stressing the same rule. Keep at least 10 feet away and make absolutely no contact. The message was clear. Even an innocent touch could be seen as interference. And for someone as high profile as Chyna, the spotlight made every move count. Social media went wild. Accusations of cultural insensitivity and wildlife endangerment flooded every platform within hours. Chyna and her sister Sierra, who had filmed the video, quickly issued a formal statement to Hawaii's DLNR, apologizing and explaining that they genuinely hadn't been aware of the state's strict laws and wildlife guidelines. They emphasized that they never meant any disrespect toward the culture or the animals. The video was taken down immediately, but the damage to Chyna's image had already been done. Then came September 2025, and things took a much darker turn. Out of nowhere, social media started lighting up with explosive claims that Chyna had allegedly exposed Tyler Perry's darkest secret. The rumor mill went into overdrive, with whispers saying she'd been silenced on the set of House of Pain and had supposedly felt unsafe during filming. These shocking claims started spreading fast, reportedly linking back to a lawsuit filed by another actor named Derek. And from there, the internet chaos only grew louder. The actor, Derek Dixon, came forward with serious allegations of sexual assault against Tyler Perry. And that's when things spiraled even further. Third-party reports began popping up online, hinting that Chyna might have had her own uncomfortable experiences during her early years in the industry. Suddenly, the truth became tangled. Nobody knew what was spoke directly about those claims. Instead, her public comments stayed focused on broader issues within the entertainment world. The toxic pressures, the false promises, and her personal decision to walk away from it all to pursue faith-based storytelling. Still, the timing was eerie. Here was a woman who had worked with Perry from just 9 years old until she was 17, who later broke down in tears online saying the entertainment industry was an illusion and not important. Fans couldn't help but wonder, was she hinting at something deeper? Or was she just freeing herself from a system that had taken too much for too long? Her production company had one mission: to create a different kind of content, stories with purpose and light instead of scandal and pressure. Even without her directly addressing the darker rumors, the pieces started to form a picture on their own. People could sense what she'd been through, even if she never spelled it out. What is confirmed, though, is clear. Chyna Anne McClain is now fully dedicated to mental health advocacy, especially for young people struggling with identity and the weight of fame. She's still making music with her sisters, keeping that family bond alive and strong. And through her production company, she's focused on developing faith-based and spiritually inspired projects meant to uplift, not exploit. The details of those upcoming works haven't been revealed yet. But one thing's for sure. Chyna's creating her own lane, and she's doing it on. Chyna keeps things low-key on social media, far from the non-stop posting of her Disney Channel era. She's careful now, choosing what to share and when to share it, keeping a level of privacy that's rare for someone who grew up in the spotlight. Every post feels intentional, every word weighed. It's clear she's protecting her peace. As of 2025, Chyna Anne McClain's net worth is estimated at around $2 million, built from nearly 2 decades of solid work across TV, film, and music. But that number says more than it seems. It's not about lost fame. It's about choice. Here's a woman who once ruled both Disney Channel and primetime superhero TV. Yet she willingly stepped back, trading the industry's chaos for her own sense of purpose and control. Purpose over profit, faith over fame, truth over treasure. At 27 years old, Chyna Anne McClain has become something you almost never see in Hollywood, a child star who made it out with her soul still shining. She walked away right when the industry wanted her to give even more. And instead of chasing another spotlight, she chose peace, purpose, and God. When the world offered her gold, she built her own road and refused to follow the one everyone else was taking. Her story stretches from that wide-eyed 7-year-old singing Spy Kids songs in her living room to the grown woman we've seen on camera, tearfully declaring she's doing God's work. That's nearly 20 years of nonstop entertainment history, marked by reinvention, growth, and grit. She was Jasmine Payne. She was China Parks. She was Uma. She was Lightning. She's been a Disney icon, a superhero, and a proud symbol of Black girl excellence on screen. And now, she's something even more powerful. Free! Now, Chyna Anne McClain stands as something Hollywood just can't seem to figure out. A woman who looked at everything the industry dangled in front of her and said, "No, thank you. I'm choosing something bigger." That kind of confidence shakes the system. Whether she's producing faith-based films, speaking up for mental health, creating music with her sisters, or simply living a life that reflects her deepest values, Chyna has chosen purpose over pressure and peace over power. She didn't just step out of the spotlight, she walked away to find her own light. And in a world where fame often owns people, her choice to let go might be the boldest and bravest move she's ever made. Chyna Anne McClain's story isn't about losing fame, it's about reclaiming freedom. From child star to superhero, from Disney sets to spiritual awakening, her journey shows what happens when someone chooses purpose over pressure and faith over fame. She turned her back on the spotlight not because she couldn't handle it, but because she finally understood her worth. She's no longer chasing Hollywood's definition of success. She's writing her own script, producing her own stories, and living life with intention and grace. Whether it's through her faith-based projects, her music with her sisters, or her voice advocating for mental health, Chyna's light keeps shining, just in a different way. Real, raw, and rooted in truth. And that's the real power move. Walking away from the world's noise to hear your own purpose loud and clear. If this story inspired you, make sure to like, subscribe, share, and drop a comment below. Let's talk about Chyna's journey and what it really means to choose faith over fame.